Hi everyone, it's Sandra from Sandra Bianco Photography in collaboration with Greater Than Gatsby. I am proud to introduce to you the new Portrait Retouch collection. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this image, and for this one I'm going to go ahead and use under the frequency separation method. I'm actually going to use both of them just to show you, but I'm going to go ahead and start with the skin correction 8-bit. And I'm choosing this because she has freckles and I don't want to lose any of that detail. And this will retain all of the detail on the skin, but you'll still be able to correct these her dark circles under her eyes. So I'm just going to go ahead and blow this up a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and run this. And I am in 8-bit, so you just need to figure out which bit you're in. You can do that easily by just going up to image and mode, and you'll see either 8-bit or 16-bit there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just make sure we're staying on this layer. I'm going to go ahead and grab a soft white brush, and I'm going to bring my flow down to 3%, and I'm going to keep my opacity at 100%. And what I want to do here is I'm going to click on my option key, and I'm just going to go ahead and start correcting her skin underneath her eyes very slowly, just to get this blended out and get rid of these dark circles. So anywhere that you feel like it needs to be, just the tone needs to be corrected, this is really good for that. And then I'm going to go ahead on this side and do the same thing. And I'm just making selections for the tone with my holding my option. That'll bring up your eyedropper tool. You can make your selection and then just go ahead and start painting that on there to correct it. I want to go ahead and get some of this little bit of dark as well. Go back to the side. So this is definitely slower and more detailed, but you won't lose any of the freckles. I'm just really trying to get that blended out. Okay, and then like for this part here, I'm going to go ahead and run the flawless blend on that just to show you. Let me show you the just before and after using that method. So you can see there it just took away the dark circles but left the detail of her skin. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten that, and I'm going to run flawless blend. And I'm going to grab my lasso tool for this. And I'm just going to go ahead and come down the bridge of her nose just a little bit here and make a selection there. I'm going to go into quick mask, so I hit Q. I'm going to go up to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And I want to just make sure my radius is set to where it's feathering out like this. So I'm at 26.1, that's good. This is way too hard, like too much of a harsh line if you take it down. So just sort of play with your slider to see where you land, where it just starts feathering out a bit. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm just going to hit Q again and go back up to filter and Gaussian blur. And you can see that what that did. It just kind of blended out those tones and took that little bit of blotchiness away. Okay, so I'm done with that. I'm going to go ahead and flatten this. And then you can see here, like her forehead to me looks a little bit more orangey than the rest of her skin tone. So I am just going to go down into my skin tone correctors and obliterate the oranges. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And I'm going to bring my flow back up to 100%. And just go ahead and start painting that on her forehead. And if it's a little bit too much, I'm just going to go ahead and take it down a bit. And we're going to fix that with our skin tones, which we're going to be running next. So I'm just going to go ahead and flatten that. And then I am going to go into There She Glows Smoother. And I'm going to go ahead and start painting this on. And then I'm going to go ahead and reduce my opacity. So you can see there, it's still keeping her freckles. So it's still leaving detail on the skin, but it is giving it a little bit of a softness. And we are also going to go into freckle enhancer, so we can go ahead and do that now. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to reduce my opacity a little bit here, and I will just go over her freckles. And you can see that's going to just bring them back to life. Pull that up a bit so you can see. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is go into our skin tone palette. And I am going to go ahead and run golden. And I'm going to bring my opacity back up to 100% on my brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and start painting this on. And I don't want to go over her eyeballs because I don't want to change the color of her eyes. But I will go over the rest of her face and her skin. And I just use my bracket keys to increase and decrease my brush. So you can see there what that did. I'm going to go ahead and reduce my opacity a little bit on that. And then I'm going to go into Soft Glow Warm. Or I'm sorry, we're going to go into Rosy Cheeks. I'm going to go ahead and flatten that. And we're going to go ahead into Rosy Cheeks. And I am going to go ahead and select Desert Rose. You have all kinds of selections in there to choose from. So I like to put this on with a big round brush. Just going to go over our cheeks a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and reduce my opacity. So I just want to put a little hint of color on there. The next thing I'm going to go into is Soft Glow Warm. And I'm going to go ahead and paint this all over her skin. And that's just going to warm it up. See there? And then we're going to go into our all over eye foundation. And I'm just going to get my brush small enough to go inside of her eyeball. And go ahead and go over those. And then I usually take my opacity down that. I don't like my eye whites to be too white. Then we're going to go into our define the eyes. On light eyes, I don't really enhance the irises or even the catch lights because I feel like that they're bright enough as is. So I'm just going to sharpen her eyes up a little bit. And then we're going to go into our Luscious Lips palette. And I'm going to go ahead and choose Casablanca. And I like to just paint this on at 100%, and then I'll step it back and see where I'm at, and usually reduce the opacity. So that's definitely too strong. So I'm just going to put a little hint of color on there. So I'm landed right at about 15%. I'm going to go into the lip highlight shine. And I'll just paint a little bit on there and reduce my opacity. And I'll even reduce that just a little bit more. So you can see there, that's just giving it a nice little shine. Okay, then we're going to go into our hair enhancers. And I'm going to run Hair So Healthy It Shines. I'll just go ahead and get my brush bigger for this. And this is, again, subtle but effective. So you can see there, it's giving it some nice contrast. I'm going to go ahead and reduce my opacity just a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go down into all the things. And I'm going to choose Paint Me Pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on at 100%. And I do like to go over the clothing, sometimes even the hair with this. So it's just giving it an overall warmth. So you can see there. And then we're going to go into sharpen the everything. And that's just going to go ahead and give the overall image a little bit more sharpening. And I'm just going to go ahead and flatten that. And then we're going to go into Magic Contour Heavy. And I'm going to go ahead and take that off of her hair because I feel like our hair is getting a little bit too dark. But I'm going to leave it on her skin so you can see what that does there. Also going to go ahead and take it off of her eyelids. So just with my black brush. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and choose Picture Perfect Polish. And that just sort of brings everything together. Take that down just a little bit. And then we're going to go into our fine art finishes, which are my favorite. So I'm going to play a couple of these for you, and then we'll figure out which one we're going to leave on. So let's play Dollish. So you can see that just gives it an overall softening to the whole image. Radiant. It just deepens it up and brings out the shadows a bit. Sculpted, which I really like. I just like the drama of that one on this particular image. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this down a little bit. And I really like what that just did to the overall image. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten this. And I just feel like she needs maybe a little bit more fill flash in her hair. So I'm just going to go back up to all the things and play extra fill flash. And I'm just going to go ahead and take my opacity down a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and add some fill flash here. And then maybe just take that down a little bit. And then I said in the beginning, see how she's pulling just a little bit of magenta there? So we're just going to go ahead and go back up to our skin correctors. And I'm going to click on Muddle the Magentas. And we're just going to go ahead and put our brush at 100%. And I'm just going to go ahead and take some of that out. So you can see there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and flatten that. I'll take a snapshot. So this is the before, and this is the after. Before, after. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please visit www.greaterthangatsby.com. Again, this is in the new Portrait Retouch collection. Thanks for watching. Bye.